Well, welcome to All About St. Paul, where we feature videos about city services, programs, entertainment, and more.
He's Nick Nelson from the city's video production team.
And she's Hannah Burchill from the city's Department of Planning and Economic Development.
Coming up on this week's show,
Mayor Carter and the state of our city.
Libraries keep kids busy all summer.
St. Paul plans for a bright future.
Saddle up with the newest officers on horseback.
You're invited to this neighborhood barbecue.
And we help you get rid of your junk. We'll have all of that and more coming up on All About St. Paul.
Well, we're coming to you today from Harriet Island, right in the middle of it all here on the mighty Mississippi.
Harriet Island is host to large public events, popular for weddings, and just one of the most loved places in the city.
If you're a regular viewer to All About St. Paul, and we hope you are, you will notice that this is not my usual co-host, Liz Wagner from Parks. Say hi to Hannah Burchill. Hannah is the Public Information Officer for our city's Department of Planning and Economic Development and one of several professional communicators that keep you in the know.
It is so good to be here.
We'll have more from the department we call PED in just a moment, but first, Mayor Melvin Carter held his first State of Our City Summit on May 19th at Johnson High School.
Our 0 to 3 initiative leverages our rec centers, our libraries, and even our water department to connect families with young children to the support resources our community has to offer. And we are working hard to realize our vision of starting every child born in St. Paul on the path to college with $50 in a college savings account. On occasion, people look at me and say, $50 isn't enough to pay for college. I say, really? Research shows us that children from low-income families who have even a small amount of money saved for college are 3 times more likely to go.
Dancers from St. Paul's Indigenous Roots Cultural Arts Center opened the event, followed by a performance of the national anthem by Johnson students Janny and Mandy Chang. To watch the entire address, just go to the city's official YouTube channel at youtube.com/stpaulgov.
In other news, big changes are coming for Rice Park. If you've been by the area lately, you've noticed that it looks a bit more like a construction zone than our city's central square.
Rice Park sits in between some of St. Paul's most iconic landmarks. The square block serves as a facility for entertainment events, a green oasis in the middle of the city, and just an everyday resting spot popular with the lunch crowd. The park dates all the way back to 1849. Rice Park has undergone renovations before, and construction of the newest improvements recently began with a ceremonial kickoff.
We felt that the park was looking pretty shabby a couple of years ago, so the Garden Club raised the initial money to have the city prepare a concept plan, and that's the plan that we've been working toward for the last 4 years. And then we partnered with the Rice Park Association, which had been talking for years about improving the park, and with the St. Paul Parks Conservancy, which raises money for our parks here in St. Paul. And we just have to thank all of the private donors who have come to the fore and helped us raise this money. I don't think any of the 3 organizations could have done it alone. It took all of us, and it took everybody else in the city to put this together and get it off the ground. It's going to be a wonderful new park.
We'll show you the construction progress in upcoming shows, so stay tuned. Investing in our city's parks is just one part of creating a better future for all of us. That big picture thinking is what the Department of Planning and Economic Development is all about. And what guides it all? A comprehensive plan. Hannah finds out more.
Thanks, Nick. I'm here with Lucy Thompson, our interim planning director, and we're going to talk a little bit about the 2040 comprehensive plan, and it's a plan that we're calling St. Paul for All. Thanks for joining us, Lucy.
Thanks, Hannah. I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. So can you start by telling us a little bit about what a comprehensive plan is?
Sure. So a comprehensive plan is a long-range vision for the city, and it's for the entire city. So we think really broadly about the future of our city. We're thinking about the next 20 years out, and we think about land use, housing, transportation, parks, water resources, preservation, and our goal is really to capture the entire city's vision for the future.
So how did we come up with such a broad plan?
Well, we worked really hard to talk to a lot of people in this community. So we spent 8 months out in the community, going to community events. Our idea was to meet people where they are. So we didn't ask them to come to our meetings. We went to where they were. Frogtown Farms opening, district council meetings, Safe Summer Nights. We really met people where they were. And we asked them, what's your vision for the future? What do you really love about St. Paul? What can we work more on? We talked to 2,700 people in 67 events. So we're really proud of the diversity that we tapped into. We talked to young, old, we captured the cultural and ethnic diversity of the city. And the one thing I can say is people are really excited about the future of this city, and we heard that from them. So what we do now is translate that into a comprehensive plan that the City Council adopts, and we start working at it.
So what are our next steps with the comp plan?
So we're at a point where we want to hear from people, and we're going to have 2 open houses in June 9th and June 12th. So we hope people can pick their time when they can come and talk to us. It will be informational. The mayor will be there to say hello and tell the community what he loves most about this plan. And then we're going to just tell people what's in it. And we're going to ask for some feedback. Then we go into the formal process of the Planning Commission public hearing, City Council public hearing. But those are really formal things. So in the meantime, we want to talk to people at these open houses and hear what they have to say. We've listened to you, here's what it is, and you tell us back how we're doing.
The 2040 Comprehensive Plan is a big process, and we want your help. So go to the city's website, sign up for updates, and get involved.
In other news, the St. Paul Police Department recently added 3 new officers to patrol the streets from the back of a horse. The St. Paul Police Mounted Patrol Unit has 3 new members. Following a rigorous 10-week academy, Shannon Diedrich, Jamie Smirstick, and Eric Stevens will now patrol from the back of a horse. The mounted unit has been in operation since 1995.
The mounted unit is a specialty patrol division for the St. Paul Police Department. It has 6 riders that ride in the city streets. It can get to areas that squad cars can't reach. It offers some community engagement efforts. People love to see the horses out on the street patrolling. It gives the officers a definite height advantage in situations where they can see over large crowds and groups, getting to areas that are difficult for vehicles to even reach.
Officer Jamie Smirstick has been with the St. Paul Police Department for 13 years and was ready for a change.
It's a great sense of accomplishment having gone through the class and the course, and I'm ready to get on the street and work again. This is Moose. It's a boy. He's a great partner. He's rock solid. He's not afraid of much at all. He's a great horse.
With SPPD for 4 years, Shannon Diedrich was raised with a love of horses.
I grew up on a farm up in Alexandria area with my grandparents a lot, and just was any chance I got, I loved to ride the horse. I love animals, I love riding horses, and why not combine both of my, lifelong goals of being a police officer and riding a horse together.
A 17-year veteran, Officer Eric Stevens had no prior experience riding horses.
I've always just been fascinated. I had no horse experience at all, and it was just something to broaden my horizons. When the opportunity came up to do this, I had to take it. It's a dream come true. It's been a lot of work, but probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do with law enforcement was this 10-week academy.
The Mounted Patrol Unit is quite visible on the streets and at events, so if you see its newest members out riding this summer, say hi.
Love those horses. One place you might see the mounted police is at Safe Summer Nights.
Safe Summer Nights starts with a community barbecue, but there's a lot more going on. Here's a taste of what you can expect, followed by a list of upcoming events.
Safe Summer Nights is designed to bring together members of a community and St. Paul police officers. Neighbors get to spend an evening enjoying a meal donated by local businesses in a fun and relaxed atmosphere, while also getting to know each other and the officers that patrol their streets. It begins a couple of days before the event, with police officers knocking on doors in the neighborhood to personally tell residents about the event. Then, it happens. The grill gets fired up, and slowly but surely the park starts to fill up with people from the surrounding blocks. You see smiles and hear laughter. The smell of the barbecue lingers in the evening air, and you feel good. You see people talking with their neighbors, kids playing baseball for the first time. You can see people getting to know the officers that patrol their streets, and the officers answer question after question after question about their horses and vehicles. The community bonds together. Now, is a barbecue in a park a groundbreaking idea? A crime eraser? No. But it's something. Maybe it's just 2 hours on a Thursday evening, but maybe it's something more than that. Maybe it's 2 extra hours of family time that wouldn't have otherwise happened. Maybe it's a conversation or your first positive interaction with a police officer. Maybe it's a kid's inspiration to become a police officer. Maybe it's the beginning of a friendship or just the feeling of togetherness. Maybe it's a feeling of safety or newfound trust. I really don't know, but there is one thing I do know. It sure is something.
You can get notifications of Safe Summer Nights and other public safety events by liking the St. Paul Police Facebook page.
If you've done your spring cleaning and are now wondering what to do with all that junk, we've got your answer.
St. Paul's district councils organize drop-off events where you can recycle or toss just about anything. There are drop-offs happening on June 9th and 23rd. Let's learn more about the process in this next video.
Trash. Junk. Stuff you don't need anymore. Whatever you call it, we as consumers have no problem generating it. But what about getting rid of it? Now that can be a problem, unless you live in St. Paul. Here, residents have a convenient and affordable way to get rid of stuff that they no longer want, while recycling more and keeping materials out of our landfills. They're called citywide drop-off events. They're part of the city's All-In program, an initiative to reduce waste and increase recycling and composting. From June through October, local district councils team up with the City of St. Paul, local businesses, and charitable organizations to help make cleanup of homes and neighborhoods easier and greener. The events are open to all St. Paul residents. District councils help by recruiting volunteers and assisting during the events. They also promote the events, telling residents about these convenient opportunities to recycle things like appliances, electronics, and scrap metal, to help properly dispose of large items like couches, construction debris, and junk, and to donate usable goods to those that need them. At each drop-off event, the reuse area is usually the first stop to drop off items that are still in good condition. Participants are welcome to check out the reusable items and take home something that they may need. When you first arrive, you are greeted by a friendly volunteer, possibly your neighbor, who will ask what you have brought to the event. Next, you will visit the cashier and you will be directed to the various stations to drop off items. There are many helpers on site, so you can unload your items and move through the process easily and efficiently. A gate fee or general disposal fee is charged depending on the size of your load, ranging from $5 to $30. Residents can dispose of anywhere from a few items to a truck or trailer full of refuse and construction materials. Additional fees do apply for certain items like couches, mattresses, electronics, and appliances. But even if it costs you a few bucks, it's still a bargain compared to what most businesses would charge for a pickup service. Because dumpsters and trucks are on site at the events, large quantities of materials can be hauled away more efficiently and affordably. It's also a convenient way for residents to drop off a variety of materials at one time. Another reason these events are affordable is due to the hard work by neighborhood volunteers who keep everything running smoothly. But even an event staffed by volunteers has expenses. Each year, the main costs are for hauling and disposing of materials and promoting the events. Typically, the city covers 60% of the costs. The gate and material fees paid by residents cover about 40% of the total costs. There are drop-off events scheduled on 4 Saturdays throughout the year. Usually, between 500 and 800 visitors come through each time. Citywide drop-off events are just one of many Come Clean projects supported by the City of St. Paul and are an investment for the future to make our homes, neighborhoods, and the environment cleaner and healthier. To find details about a drop-off event near you, visit the City of St. Paul recycling web pages at stpaul.gov/recycle for more information and a list of dates and locations, or check with your St. Paul District Council. Get ready for the next citywide drop-off event, and thank you for being all in.
Well, Hannah, I am a bit of a garage sale and thrift store junkie, so I will definitely be checking out that reuse area.
And there are 2 citywide drop-off events coming right up. The first one is on June 9th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Minnesota State Fairgrounds.
Another drop-off happens on June 23rd from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Harding High School. With school out, the kids are enjoying a break, but you know how it is. Pretty soon they'll be looking for something to do. Well, the St. Paul Public Library has it covered with fun activities all summer long. I stopped by the library earlier to find out more. With us now is Kelsey, and she is a youth services manager with St. Paul Public Libraries, and she has a ton of great ideas to keep your kids busy all summer long. And we're going to start with something called Summer Spark.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So Summer Spark is our summer learning program for kids and teens of all ages 0 to 18. And there's a couple of different ways that kids and families can participate. So one of the ways is by participating in our reading program, which we have an activity log for kids and we have one for teens as well. And basically what kids do, or teens, is they read and they complete different activities, and then at different intervals they can bring this back to the library to redeem a prize, like a free book of their choice, a free journal. So this is really a great way to keep kids and teens reading and engaged in doing different activities all summer long. We also have something new this year that are called Spark Camps, and these are going to be at 6 of our libraries, and they are meant to help kids really learn and engage in hands-on ways. So at the Sunray Library we have nature camps that are going to be going on with the Dodge Nature Center. At the Rice Street and the Arlington Libraries we're working with a great local artist called Bubblemancy, who's going to be helping kids explore the magic and science behind bubbles. These are all drop-in programs. They're really geared towards kids ages 7 to 11, but we welcome anybody who just wants to come in, learn, do some hands-on stuff, and have a lot of fun.
Well, we know that learning cannot stop with the school year, and it's important that kids keep reading all summer long. I bet you have some programs for that too.
Definitely. So in addition to the pieces that I just talked about, we have a couple of other really reading-focused programs that are great for kids and families to participate in. One is a partnership that we have with our local baseball team, the St. Paul Saints, and they have a program called the Reading Tree. And so this year we're partnering with them to bring some local and not local children's book authors into our libraries to do reading with kids. And then they're also going to bring their wonderful mascot, Madonna the Pig, to do meet and greets. So we first started this partnership with them last year. Kids and families had a ton of fun, so we're really looking forward to continuing that this year. We also have story times for young children going on all summer long at all of our libraries. So if you're looking for great reading programs for really little ones, generally 5 and under, that's a great option. And then if you're looking for reading tutoring, we also have a program called Summer Reads, where we have AmeriCorps Vista members come and do reading tutoring with kids once a week, and that happens most of the summer as well.
Well, that sounds great. What other fun things do you have planned?
Well, in addition to all the pieces we talked about, there are lots of additional fun things going on at the library all summer long. We have maker camps at 9 of our libraries, which are drop-in programs that are focused on science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM. And those are great things like kids learning how to do bottle stomp rockets, stuff that's really active, that's learning, but that doesn't necessarily look like the learning you might see in a classroom setting. We also have a great program called Saturday Live, which is happening Saturdays in June and July, and that's at the Central Library downtown, where we're going to bring in different cultural performers to do some really great engaging music or magic or puppet shows. Lots of great stuff that's fun for the whole family. And then all summer long at all of our libraries, we also just have a variety of performers that are going to be coming to engage kids, families, whoever wants to come, with all kinds of fun things. Again, cultural engagement, magic shows, a lot of wonderful music from different cultures that we're going to be bringing to all of our libraries all summer long.
Well, thanks, Kelsey. There you have it, folks. Along with our Parks Department, the public library has great activities to keep your kids busy all summer long. For more information, just go to their website at sppl.org/summer. And of course, there are lots of library programs for adults too. Head on over and check it out.
On the topic of libraries, a new location recently showed up in a unique spot. Let's learn more about this program.
Wash and Learn is a combination of libraries and laundromats coming together with communities to promote literacy and help early childhood learning in spaces that might not normally be traditionally thought of as libraries.
I'm really excited to be here today, this morning, on a Saturday morning in a St. Paul Public Library. We're partnering with Libraries Without Borders to ensure that all of our children and families in our community have access to books and literacy, and that, 2 hours spent on a Saturday morning washing are also 2 hours spent on a Saturday morning learning.
NLM worked with us, Libraries Without Borders, to pilot our first ever laundromat event in Minnesota. And with some of the learnings from that program, we said, why can't we do this across the state? And now we're working in 5 different counties, 7 different laundromats, to really think about how do we get information to people where they are? How do we ensure that NLM resources reach the families that they're intended to serve?
This is a very natural space for families to already be and to go to weekly. And so we figured, let's destroy the transportation barrier or the time barrier or whatever the obstacle is, and then come to where they are so that we can provide them the resources that we have.
When people come into the laundromat, they're not thinking about learning. They're not thinking about addressing their concerns about diabetes or hypertension or cancer. They're washing their clothes. And so what we're trying to do is to transform the 90 minutes, the wash and dry cycle that you're doing every week, into a different kind of experience, into one that's actually enriching.
Digital literacy is fundamental to being successful in the world today, and I think many of us take for granted the fact that we have computers at home, that we have access to Wi-Fi. The National Library of Medicine, a lot of people aren't aware of the degree and nature of the resources that they put out to make learning about topics related to medicine really accessible to people. So we've got some websites that are set up, to the NLM site I should say, where people can look for information about nutrition. Some of the resources are directed toward kids, so they're really friendly, more of a game-like environment.
It was really fun because I got to play on the computer. It was nice of them for putting all the stuff up.
It's a way to give back. Simply put, if I can serve my community, in the end it's going to be good for me, but The reality of it is it's just good for the community.
What a great program for our residents on the North End.
That's our show for today.
Thank you, Hannah, for filling in on All About St. Paul.
Absolutely. Invite me back anytime.
I might just do that. You can find all of the city's videos online at the city's YouTube channel at youtube.com/stpaulgov.
See you next time.